There are three things that I see over and over again when it comes to online nutritionists making mistakes. Now, you probably want to limit the amount of mistakes you're making when you're growing your online nutrition business, but you might be surprised what I consider the biggest mistakes and what I don't consider the biggest mistakes. So I'm going to share what you might think are the biggest mistakes, but actually aren't towards the end of the video. The biggest mistake that online nutritionists make by far when you're starting your business includes avoiding talking to people. Now, I know it can feel scary, and I see a lot of you hide behind focusing on making more content, and you'll do anything possible to avoid having conversations, but business is really building relationships. Now, growing your online business is going to require that you're having conversations with people in general, and then more specifically within your target market, meaning people who are closely aligned with how you serve and what transformation you provide in your online business. Now, to give you some tactical feedback, I'm going to say talk to 10 people a week, every week. That might be around 2 people a day. Doesn't mean you have to talk to 10 people in the same day, but if you're focusing on talking to new people on a regular basis, you'll be able to learn more about people's wants and needs with nutrition, you'll build your brand, and you'll also improve your confidence. Now, out of all of the mistakes I've seen with nutritionists building an online business, this is the biggest mistake. I see it at the beginning, and then I see nutritionists kind of fall off and wonder why they're not ramping up and hitting that 10K mark, and it all goes back to talking to enough people on a regular basis. Now, you can do this online or in person. I will say, if you're not already talking to people in person, you probably want to focus on your communication skills. So it would be a really good idea for you to leverage traditional marketing, which means that you're tapping into your existing network. So that might mean friends and family. Maybe you are part of a local church or a synagogue, or maybe there's a community event or volunteering, or there's some way in your local existing network of friends, family, peers, whatever, where you can position yourself and mention that you are a nutritionist, an online nutritionist taking clients. Now, if you're not already doing this, you want to do it. Now, the skills that you're able to really develop in person are translatable online. But if you're not already doing it in person, it's going to feel a lot more awkward to start engaging in conversations online. So one of my best tips, in addition to saying talk to 10 people a week, would be for you to talk to people in person and then have those skills translate in the online world. You know what I mean? Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. Now, I've seen our clients have most success on Instagram, but that doesn't mean that other platforms won't work as well. But when you're on one of these platforms, let's say Instagram, which happens to be our favorite and where we've seen the most success, that means that you are having conversations, you're talking to people, you are building genuine relationships, and you're finding a way to be a person of service to the other person. Now, that is the most important part of starting and growing your online nutrition business. Now, if you tell me that you can't find people, I would encourage you to look a little bit harder. There are people everywhere that need help, from functional nutrition to chronic disease to weight loss to performance nutrition to child nutrition and growth. Everything, right? People are out there. We're talking millions of people that need help with nutrition. And I'm not saying you have to find people in a specific area like a chronic disease. I'm talking about finding people in general. So keeping this really general, because the focus is 10 people. The focus is not what type of 10 people. The first goal is to find 10 people and talk to them about nutrition, and then you can get more focused with time and start building on your habits. But you do want to make sure that you're finding 10 new people every week to talk to. The second biggest mistake that online nutritionists make when starting their business includes forgetting about sales and marketing. Now, your business's success depends on your ability to market and promote your business, and also your ability to convert people who are potential leads into existing customers. Now, to avoid this mistake, you can invest your time and energy and resources into developing a brand. And part of you developing a brand and differentiating from the next online nutritionist who might seem similar to you would be talking to people regularly and also taking some time to think about who you serve, how you help them, what outcome they're paying you for, and why you're doing what you're doing. Now, this process can feel a little heavy because those are some really important things to think about. And as you're codifying your messaging and thinking about how you're unique, you'll be talking to 10 people a week. And you would be surprised when you talk to 10 people a week or more, 10 is the minimum, you might find that 1 or 2 of those 10 people is going to refer you to somebody else. Or 1 of those 10 people might actually purchase your products and services. So the goal is not to find a particular type of person when you're getting started. Like, you don't have to find 10 people with type 2 diabetes. Just find 10 people, talk to them, and focus on your relationship skills. When you focus on your relationship skills, you will be building your brand and focusing on marketing as well. The main idea is you want to start serving people. So a lot of nutritionists come to me and say, I don't want to give away information. I don't want a conversation to turn into a coaching call as a nutrition coach. And here's the thing. As nutritionists, we have to come from a place of service. So we are caretakers naturally, and we are here to serve and help people. So just because you're having one conversation with somebody or you're building a relationship, I want you to not think of everything needing to be behind a paywall. That's not how it works when you're building your brand and becoming a person of service. In business, when you're thinking about building relationships, what's important is that you're practicing active listening. So you're paying attention to what somebody wants and needs, and you're providing support as you can. I'm not saying you give everything away, but you're engaging in a conversation. You're letting people know that you're hearing them. And then you can refer them to a resource or give them 1 or 2 quick tips or tricks. Now, none of this should be crossing any boundaries or too intimate or personal, but you want to do what you can to be a person of service. And the more you can do that when you're having regular conversations, the more that people are going to see you as being an expert, and that is the first step of building your brand online. It's easy to market and position yourself and tell people that you have a product or service to offer after you've already given them support with what they have as a concern or issue related to nutrition. The third mistake that online nutritionists make when building their business online includes not investing in yourself. Oh, I see you. I know you're scared. And you're thinking, how much money and time and energy do you have to build your business? But the reality is, there's a lot of new skills when you are becoming an online nutritionist, and for sure when you're becoming a nutrition boss. And so here's the thing. When you want to become your own boss, there are different skills than when you're an employee. As an employee, you're told what software to use. You're told how many, let's say, clients or patients to see a day. You're told exactly how to do your job. When you are your own boss, a nutrition boss, you have to make these rules. You have to make these decisions. And that's a whole different way of thinking. So of course, investing in yourself to learn how to make decisions along the way and improve your skills is going to help you accelerate that process. Now, I'm huge on investing in myself, and I really see the growth in our clients who invest in themselves as well. Now, investing in yourself can mean you're buying a template or a course or coaching, or you start with a template or a course and then you invest in coaching a few months later, but you want to get started with something because free resources are, well, they are what they are. They're free, and there are limitations versus when you're able to invest and get a deeper level of understanding. And typically the way human psychology works, when we invest in something, we've got more skin in the game. And we're more interested and dedicated to putting time and energy into the resources that we've paid for. That's just how it works. Running a successful online nutrition business requires continuing lifelong learning and education, networking and skill building. It also requires that you become self-aware of your strengths and weaknesses. And depending on how big you want your business to be, if you want to grow to 7 figures like us, you're going to have to learn how to become a leader, how to hire employees, how to manage contractors, how to practice organizational skills and project management tactics. Now, of course, this answer is going to depend on how you want to run your business, but the common theme is that investing in yourself will help you grow that foundation where your options are limitless. And that can feel really exciting because becoming your own boss will require that the inputs that you make into your business are different than what inputs you've put in to become an employee. I want to share with you one of our clients, nutrition boss Colleen, who has been able to transform her career and work with me from the beginning of her journey. So check this out.
Working with Libby has been the best decision that I have made for my business. I started my business about a year ago, and without her, I would have never had the guidance and support in order to make my current business a reality that I absolutely love, and that has allowed me to leave my clinical job and pursue this full time while being financially stable and being confident in the systems in my business, and allowed me to have a larger impact on the world and being able to spread my message and help the women that I help in my program. I am so thankful that I took the leap to work with Libby. Like I said, I could not have done any of this without her. I could not have made this my full-time job without her support and guidance, because that's just not something that I knew. I have the skills of what I want to teach my clients and how I want to work with them, but I did not have the business side of things. I had no idea about marketing and all of that stuff, and that's exactly what Libby has helped me with. And she's helped me create a business with systems in place so that you can work smarter, not harder, that you are having a larger impact and you're getting your message across to more people. And like I said, I'm so happy that I took the leap to work with Libby. It was scary investing in yourself, to be honest, but I can tell you 1,000% it's worth everything. Libby is fabulous, and she really has made a huge impact in not only my career, but in my life as well.
So I've shared the top mistakes, but what about the fake mistakes? Because a lot of nutritionists come to me and they have these perceptions that whatever mistake they think they're making is a bigger deal than it actually is. Let me explain. One of the biggest things that you think is a mistake as an online nutritionist, for sure, is how much you're charging. Hear me out. You're afraid you're undercharging your services, and usually you come to me and you reach out to our team and you want to hire me because you think you're too cheap. And yes, let me clarify, that's absolutely a mistake if you've been seeing dozens and dozens of clients for $100 a session, or you're only selling bundles and you're having clients that come to you and pay you. That is a mistake, because at that point you need to raise your rates. If you're just starting and you're seeing your first 7 to 10 clients, you can absolutely charge a lower rate, and then you can start to increase your rate with supply and demand. So the more people that are reaching out to you, you can incrementally increase your pricing. Now, this is different, in this, it's going to depend a little bit on what you're offering. So there are packages you can offer for longer term support. There are single sessions, there are bundles. I would say my rule of thumb is that after you've sold 7 single sessions, I don't care if it's the same person or not, 7 sessions that you sold to any human, you don't want to sell them anymore. Single sessions are not a great way for you to run your business, but it's a good way for you to get started. So I think a lot of nutritionists, especially in the online world, come to me and they think that one principle or way of being is how you should be your entire business. And that's just not true. Things change. When you're trying to ramp up and get your first client, the tactics are going to be different than after you've been able to make your first $1,000. So if you haven't made yet $1,000 in your online business as an online nutritionist, then just sell what you can, do what you can to increase your confidence, to get client results, to make people happy, and work on your mindset. So you know that these are all inputs that are going to help you become better. The second fake mistake I see is your obsession with creating a business plan. So hear me out. I love business plans. I sell them and I have them for our clients as a part of our membership and as a part of my coaching services. But I will say that a lot of you obsess about the business plan because there is flexibility needed when you're creating a business plan. So a business plan, I like to say, when you're under $1,000, meaning that you've earned under $1,000 in revenue in your online nutrition business, it's more like a checklist. So that business plan becomes more clear with time and experience when you've been able to learn yourself, when you know what services or products you want to sell, when you're more clear about the lifestyle you want to lead. So yes, having a loose plan is important. For example, you're going to need to register your business entity, you're going to need to separate your business banking from personal. But I'm a fan of a checklist and not obsessing about having this super clear plan that's almost written and edited like a book, because that's not how business works. There needs to be some flexibility when it comes to your plan. Your plan is very theoretical, and that's important, but I wouldn't overemphasize that plan, because you need to just focus on talking to 10 people a week. You need to focus on improving your relationship building skills. You need to focus on building your brand and focus on making sales, even if those first few sales under $1,000 are not, market industry standard rates, right? So if you're selling your services for an affordable rate, but it's your first few clients, that's okay. Because you're going to look back and it's not going to matter that you undersold yourself. What's going to matter is that you helped somebody receive the nutrition outcome that they desired, and that helped you gain your confidence as an online nutritionist. Now, I have a free guide I want you to grab below. It's a social media caption template, so you can start plugging and playing the words that I've already created that are going to help you attract more people into your online nutrition business. You can grab that guide below, and I want you to check out this next video on screen.